So today we are making my favorite Trinidadian meal, some chicken pelau. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So I'm starting off with 2 large chicken breasts. I like to juice my limes or lemons, whatever I'm using to clean the chicken, just because it's just easier for me to get all that juice out. I take the knife and just kind of make sure I get all that juice. And then I throw the chicken in there and then I give it a good wash to make sure it's all clean. But yeah, this just helps me. And then I'm going to cut the chicken into pretty big chunks, not super big chunks. I like using these boneless chicken breasts because it's just easy for me to cut and clean. Usually I do prepare this, like the meat, before I cook, so I'll marinate it and have everything just sitting in the fridge. But today just got a fresh pack of chicken, and yeah, so here we are cleaning it all out and cutting it up. Chicken pelau can be made like with so many different options. So like for today, I'm making my chicken pelau with red kidney beans, but you can also make it with like pigeon peas, you can make it with beef, you can make it however you want. And yeah, I just love chicken and kidney beans. Yeah, so I'm almost done cutting this chicken up. And then I'm just going to throw it in the bowl with my lime juice and then get that washed and clean. This is my favorite meal because it's so easy. It's one pot, easy cleanup, and it's so delicious. And I feel like the next day, well, it does taste better like the next day. It's just so good after it sits in the fridge for a little bit. But yeah, so that's my chicken. We're going to go wash it out, come back, it's all clean. And then I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my cutting board. Start with a fresh cutting board. Okay, so here we're going to start on our herbs with our seasoning. So we're doing, I'm going to tell you guys how much. I think it was 8 small cloves of garlic. I use a half an onion, and this is called culantro. The Trini word is shadow bunny. And I used 7 leaves, I guess. Chop that up really fine. I like to just chop everything by hand. Then I mix all the seasonings together. And here I'm honestly just eyeballing it, but I'm using real salt. I love the salt. You don't need a lot. I always use less, and then I can always add more. And if you don't have all these spices, it's okay. I'm using some parsley. Just use whatever you like, whatever spices you like, whatever you have. But yeah, so I didn't have, and then we're using Worcestershire sauce. You know what I mean. This just gives it a lot of color and it just tastes good. But yeah, I didn't have fresh thyme, so I'm using the ground thyme here. But if you have fresh thyme, use fresh thyme. It's so much better. Here I'm just putting some oregano. Love oregano. And some smoked paprika. And then that's the ground thyme I was telling you guys about. As you can see in the back, Bluey is playing because that's just what keeps baby boy occupied, so mama can get this food cooked. I'm putting some ground cumin in here as well. But yeah, Adrian loves this dish. My husband loves this dish. Cayenne pepper. And it's so easy. Like, once you have your chicken seasoned, I feel like that's the hardest part. I'm using some ground allspice because it's just so good. I learned about allspice not too long ago, and I use it in everything. It just gives the flavor, like this, I don't know, like this warm flavor to the food. But yeah, so then you're going to mix all of your seasonings together. This is how it would look in the fridge. So all that seasoning usually sits. If you can marinate it, try to marinate it for a night. And then the next day cook it. It's so good. But it's still good regardless. So yeah, we're going to start cooking. So in that pot there, I'm going to be using a fairly decent amount of oil. That's how it looks. I'm using avocado oil, and I'm using a pretty decent amount because we are browning this brown sugar here. I'm using a big tablespoon. But yeah, we're gonna be adding beans and rice to this, so we want a decent amount of oil. So as you can see there, the sugar was brown and bubbling, so I threw all the chicken in. I did this quite fast, and then I stir it up to make sure all of the chicken is caramelized and looking like that. Look at how beautiful that looks. And like that alone would be too brown, but because we're adding the rice and the beans, it's perfect. So I just add some water to the bowl that I had my seasonings in to get all the seasonings out, and then cook that chicken for a little bit longer because we want our chicken to be basically almost done cooking before we add our rice. I usually add brown rice, but I didn't have brown rice, so I used jasmine rice. With brown rice, you know, that cooks so long, but white rice cooks so fast. So I washed my rice, and then I'm throwing my rice in about like 5, 6, 7 minutes after the chicken has been cooking. And then because the white rice cooks so fast, I just throw in my beans a couple minutes after. Let the rice cook though before you throw the beans in, and that's how it's looking. Once I stir it up, you want the liquid to boil down, so that's about 10 minutes after, I think, and it just needed like 2-3 minutes after this because the liquid just, you know, it gets absorbed into the rice. So that is how it looks. This is the finished product. It was so delicious. Thank you guys for watching. Like always, wishing you guys lots of love, happiness, and peace. And we're gonna do a little taste test so you guys can see how bomb it is. Bye guys. Okay.